Today I'll be putting an aftermarket sway bar in this BRZ.
On this car, the first thing that you have to do is have to remove this under tray, and then you have access to this sway bar here. It's got some mounting bolts here and one coming in from the underside. So first we'll make room for that, and then we'll be on to pulling the actual sway bar out. Alright, to remove the sway bar, you need to remove these. They're similar to the ones used elsewhere in the car, but this one doesn't have a little tab for a screwdriver opening, but I like this tool, the double-ended nylon. It's got like kind of a crow hook, or it's got like a forked end on it, and a scraper flat pry tool. Just get it started, and then once you get it that way, you can just use the hook to pull her out. Don't forget the last one on the bottom. Okay, that you can just set off to the side. Now let's disconnect the sway bar end link. You want to do the lower since you don't get new sway bar links with this. I'll just put this right back on the stud so that I don't lose it. Now, use a long socket with an extension. Just wanted to make sure. Damn. That was seated properly before I rounded the head off. Okay. I'll get that nut later. And then with I like a ratcheting wrench because it's the only thing you really can get in this space. Now, the trick is you don't want to pull this bolt all the way out. The bracket is slotted. The hardest part about the install is lining that bolt up after you remove the bracket, or the keeper, the sway bar keeper from the car. Looks like I took that one all the way out. Hold on. Now, I've done this without removing the wheels, so I know I can do it without removing the sway bar subframe connector thing. It's a little bit of a puzzle, but does come out. All right, now this here is your sway bar. The trick is you gotta rotate it up, look out for the shocks. Cash rules. And there's the OEM bar.
Now that we have the sway bar removed, let's do a quick comparison. This is the OEM bar. I believe this is a 17 millimeter, and okay, it looks like it's a 17 millimeter OD. I believe it's a solid bar, and I don't remember what the rating on this is. Now, this is my aftermarket sway bar. Friend gave it to me for free. I don't know who he got it from. He did pretty well in C Street back a few years ago. He sold his car, bought a Lotus. Lotus is a cooler car, I'm not gonna lie. I believe this is 19 millimeters hollow. It's some percentage stiffer. And let's put her back in. Almost forgot. Before I put this in, I'm going to clean up. Well, one thing that you don't want to forget is there are bushings in here, and you don't want those to get too. You want to make sure those stay lubricated so that they don't bind on the rubbers and stop your sway bar from moving freely. So this is a spring that works in concert with your suspension. If this is locked solid, you're gonna increase your spring rate by a significant portion, and that's called sway bar bind, and it makes you slow. I will clean off the dirt. It's not bad, but I want to put fresh grease in here. I'll switch to these gloves because I don't want to get my nice warm ones. Because it is winter here. I'm in New York. I don't know if you noticed. I think a box of these is the same price as my work gloves, the knit ones. So just a little grease, spread it around. I like putting some on the face where the stop is so that I don't get binding there too. I don't know if that's, the right thing or not or whatever. I do it and it really just can't hurt. Change gloves and I'll crawl under and install that. All right, let's talk reinstall strategy. So, if you can see from here, no, you can't. All right, here, let me get the angle right. So, nice and open over here, nice and tight over here. All right, you only have about the width of a sway bar in the. There we are. Oh, transmission. You gotta put about the width of a sway bar right here. So we're gonna start it on the easy side, give a bunch of the length that way, and then no, we started on the hard side because you want to twist it a lot in order to get it through the subframe there. All right. Now that it's in, slide out to the side, put everything back together, and make sure you tighten everything down. All right, one of the tricks I found doing the other side was if you move the steering rack out of the way, it's so hard to find a good angle to put a camera and a lamp, but so it's much easier if you move the steering rack out of the way while you are trying to line up the lower bolt.
I like to tighten these down evenly, like it were a wheel or well, I used to BMX, so the headset I would typically. And you can actually see where I had a little bit of rubbing at full lock. So that might be an issue somehow. I don't know. I'm still going to use this bar. I did pretty good with and without it. Autocrossing. So after you get that snugged down, I got that snugged down, right? So once that's snugged down, you can so what I've decided is the best idea is to tighten this down first and then move to that bolt. That'll be the most even way to tighten the assembly up. After you get it mounted securely, so the bar can move freely, tighten your sway bar end links up, and then just reassemble all the covers and nonsense. You can tell the ones that go in on the fibrous tray because they have a little bit of a step, and then the ones that go against the aluminum are smooth. Careful putting these back on, you don't want to over tighten them. But I just give it a quick zip. The front ones I won't even touch with the impact because that's a little spring with the it's kind of like a captured nut. You don't want to over tighten those, you'll just shear them up. Since it's just a little flat piece of metal riding against the fiber, you can very easily just cut through the... That might be over tight. And there we are, all set. Alright, that's how you install an aftermarket sway bar. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe or whatever. I don't know, this is my first real, talking to the camera and whatever. Thanks, bye.